Hi everyone! I wanted to make a video announcement this week just to prove to you that I am fully well. um, Thankfully, I feel so much better, and I wanted to thank everyone for their patience in my time of illness. It was rough, and all I could think was I truly hope that if you have ever been ill in one of my classes, that I offered you the same patience that you offered me. So thank you for checking up on me, for keeping up with the class, even though I may not have been fully present as I typically am. So thank you for that. I wanted to make a quick video because the final paper rough draft is due. You should have all grades updated, even week 5 discussion board as of right now. And I went through those final paper outlines and gave you just a little nudge if you needed it. I knew that most people wouldn't, but there are still some students that sometimes that dark topic kind of gets you off track of communication studies. So if I left you anything, a comment like, don't forget about the communication side, or don't forget to focus on communication, that's what I mean. And usually this can really be alleviated easily by just pulling articles from communication journals. So instead of psychology journals or sociology journals, look specifically for communication journals. And they will have the word communication in the title of the journal, so you'll know. Or if the title of the research has the word communication somewhere in it, even if it's in a psychology journal, if it has the word communication in the title, that's also something that you'll want to focus on as you're compiling research for your final papers. Because it is a communication course, although it's really interesting to talk about jealousy and infidelity and abuse, you want to make sure that it's still in the realm of studying the communication. And that's when it starts to get a little bit tricky and a little bit more difficult to figure out exactly what you're going to talk about. And I've been there. I did that in graduate school as well, so you're not alone. Also, make sure that it's not a narrative essay, that it's more of an analysis. So it should sound a lot like the articles you're reading from scholarly journals, and it really shouldn't be just a self-reflection on a past occurrence or relationship. Although that's what drives us to choose the topic, it isn't what is what we are studying. What we're studying is the phenomenon, the topic itself, not necessarily your personal life. Although I can read through those like a Harry Potter book. I find it so interesting. I would rather hear about your personal life, not because I'm nosy, but because I care about you. The point of the class isn't that. The point is to get you on the right track for graduate school and knowing how to write in a more technical way, and that is going to help you in your profession as well. Being able to separate the emotion from, the topic itself is something that's going to help you a lot. So as you are submitting your final paper rough drafts, something you do need to know is that there is a more detailed rubric than for the outline. There's actually a rubric, so you can go look at that and use it as an outline. Especially if you're at that point of writing where you're like, what am I supposed to put in the rough draft? Why does this feel like, should it feel like I have the paper already done? Or, a lot of my students get stuck in that. So look at the rubric. That's what should be in the final paper rough draft and what I'm looking for. The rough draft should be different from the final paper because the formatting doesn't have to be perfect. I will let you know, hey, your margins are off or whatever might be off, but for the final paper, that's when it really counts for the grade. What else might we need to include? The rubric really should be your guide for that final paper rough draft. If you want me to read the rough draft before you submit the rough draft, I'm happy to do that as well. I always offer that to my students, so if you're concerned that you're not going to get the full 40 points for the final paper rough draft and you want me to see it beforehand, I absolutely will. So reach out to me if you need anything. I don't have any announcements or anything like that other than everything I wanted you to know about the final paper rough draft. We can talk more about the final paper, the actual final paper, if you would like me to in an announcement form, or you can just ask me your questions. So it's great to read through your discussions. I really do adore this class, not because it's dark, but because I feel like we get insight into what other people have gone through in their lives. So thank you for sharing, and for being honest. Have a great week.